welcome to Saving America with Dr. David Schein. Today is episode 2, I think, because we started with 0 and 1 and 2, and next week will be 3. Dr. Schein, David, is the author of The Decline of America, 100 Years of Leadership Failure. I just want to say a little plug about the book before we get started, David, because it's a great book for anyone who wants to do any research about presidents and how presidents have handled different crises or different other aspects of their time in office. And it makes great for a curriculum study for homeschool or for public schools or private schools. So if you're interested in this book, at the end we'll tell you how you can get a copy of it. And now, with all the news comes all the rumors. So I love when you watch the media that they use. It's not necessarily the words, but it's the emphasis on the words that really let you know, kind of like, okay, this must be the latest rumor. So what do you have for us today in the way of the latest rumors going around?
I think the rumor is that President Trump does not have the authority to put executive orders in place to resolve issues between the House and the Senate on some type of additional COVID-19 stimulus. A little bit of the background on this is that the United States economy came out of the big COVID-19 shutdown, surged very strongly. In fact, most of the economists and pundits were shocked at how well the economy came back in such a short period of time, although there was still much hardship, about 10 million to 12 million people without jobs who would normally be working. Those are enormous numbers, painful numbers for our American citizens. And so it's a difficult situation. But in any event, everybody knows that we had a resurgence of COVID-19. We had a sharp increase in the death toll. We have had an actual reduction in the actual deaths per number of reported cases, which is predictable because there were probably a lot of cases before widespread testing where people were positive, recovered, and they were never recorded as statistics. And again, we have a large percentage of people reportedly who are positive but don't know it because they're asymptomatic for whatever chemicals in their body or DNA in their body that doesn't make them susceptible to having the symptoms. So in any event, there's been a cry for another stimulus. For the record, I am opposed to this stimulus and because of the incredible impact on the national debt. I think that there are plenty of jobs out there paying people to stay home. To me is not American. It's not how we do things. And I'm not trying to be cold-hearted or mean, but it's time for people, if they're saying, well, I'm too good for this job. Hey, you know what? If you don't have food on the table and you're not paying your rent, you're not too good for that job. Get out there and put your time in. But in any event, Trump, who is a populist president, he's not a true conservative. A lot of people describe him as, to the far right, and he's really not. He is what's called a populist. Populists, generally speaking, by the way, could either run as Democrats and Republicans. Probably the best example of a populist president was Theodore Roosevelt from 120 years ago, who was a very popular person even today, and yet and ran as a Republican, but indeed was not what people think of as a Republican. And again, Trump is in that populist thing. But anyway, he put in some changes over the weekend through executive order. His reason for doing that was Congress and the Senate could not reach an agreement on a stimulus. He felt it was important to the American economy, to the American people, that we have a stimulus, and he just did it. And the rumor is, well, you can't do that. You can't supplant what Congress and the Senate should have done. And the answer is, well, if he can't do it, then how did Barack Obama do it for about 6 years? Because once Obama lost the first house, and then by his second term, they had lost both houses of Congress. He basically was the lame duck president, and he ruled his last 4 years by executive orders. And the classic executive order is DACA, the opportunity for young people who were brought here or were born here whose parents are not legal citizens of the United States, and it allows them to stay here and enjoy the benefits of American education, American citizenship eventually. That DACA, by the way, a permanent fix, which I support, and most conservatives, by the way, support a permanent DACA solution, by the way. I am one of those many conservatives who support that. In any event, that went to court as an executive order under Barack Obama, and the court said that Trump could not undo that executive order. So indeed, the president has a great deal of autonomy. So the rumor that he can't do it, I think, is not going to be found out in the courts.
So thank you for joining us today. Remember, get your copy. If you want to prepare for an election, then you need to get this book, because there's all kind of information, and you can see that each president, beginning with Woodrow Wilson and going through Barack Obama, it's the same questions for each one. So it's not like a different set of questions for each one of the presidents. So get your copy. If you'd like a copy, they're on Amazon, but if you would like to review for being a possible textbook, then if you'll put your name and information and the name of the school in the comments below this video, then we'll get in touch with you. So, and if you want an autographed copy, put your name in there, and we'll be glad to get David to sign a copy and send it to you. We'll let you know how much that would be. So we're not giving away free autographed copies, but we do have them. Next week, we're going to be covering one of your favorite topics, which is the national debt. And I know I've heard you talk about that before, so I know it is a topic. And also, while you were talking, I'm glancing over here at my computer at the headlines for today. And I would like you to talk next week also about this whole thing with the post office and the mail-in ballots or something like that. Can you plan to do that under one of the segments, either as a rumor, but it really is in the news a lot. I've seen it in the news a lot. So if we can add that to your agenda for next week, that would be wonderful.
Very happy to talk about the post office, and I am indeed concerned about it. Not as much as the national debt, but it's high on my list of concerns.
So thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next week on Monday, 2 p.m. Central Time. So thank you, David. Thanks very much. Great discussions.